Yo, Philly Phil here. Freedom Unfiltered, episode 4. No bullshit. Your weekly dose of raw, unfiltered me. On deck today, we got the Patriot Pulse, the Bro Bash, and the Slab Lab. Buckle up. Episode 4 starts now. So let's kick off episode 1 with the Patriot Pulse. Okay, this week's raw takes on what counts for real Americans like me and you. We're going to hit 3 things today. We're going to talk about the government shutdown finally ending. We're going to talk about Prop 50 passing in California, and we're going to talk about a little bit of ICE raids that happened this week as well. Okay, so let's kick things off and let's talk things about the government shutdown. Okay, the 40-day shutdown finally ended today when Donald Trump inked his clean funding bill at Mar-a-Lago, locking up $1.2 trillion through March 2026. Now, there was no debt ceiling hike, there was no port, there was no FAT, there was no none of that, okay? National parks will be open at sunrise, and there'll be retro pay for all 2.1 million furloughed Americans, okay? The Senate finally broke the filibuster on March 9th with a 60-40 vote after 10 moderate Democrats finally caved under Trump's tariff threats to EU allies, okay? Then the House rammed it through 220 to 210 in a late night session. The Congressional Budget Office has already pegged the cost of this shutdown at $10 billion, okay? That's $10 billion in lost productivity, airports crippled, SNAP delays, military families skipping meals, okay? All of it. But the real bloodbath that took place was to the $500 billion worth of sanctuary subsidiaries that were scammed, that were propped up by blue city mayors, okay? Now, Trump slashed that by 40%, or $200 billion in this, okay? Gone overnight. Boom. My take, Trump's perfect deal, quote unquote, which it wasn't, but whatever. It wasn't a compromise, okay? It was a fucking execution of fucking Democrat obstruction, okay? Now, Pelosi's resistance, whatever you want to call it, was a temper tantrum that just starved real Americans out, okay? While funneling billions to illegals and propping up sanctuary cities. Now, Trump's pressure finally fucking broke the swamp spine. The military's paid, parks are reopened, and the real win? No more blank checks for globalist fucking grift, okay? Democrats are crying cruelty. Bullshit. This is MAGA mercy at its finest, okay? Drain the swamp even deeper. Shutdowns are the new norm until the fucking traitors learn. Period. End of situation. End of story. Now, this next one hits kind of home. I used to live in California. Let's talk about those of you that voted on Prop 50. It passed 52 to 48, okay? Now, what it really did was just suspend the independent redistricting commission and handing map drawing abilities straight to the Democratic machine and Gavin Newsom. That's all it did. It targeted 5 inland GOP leaning districts for surgical flips and starting in 2026, all endorsed by Obama as countering Texas's gerrymandering. What? All it was coastal cities like LA and San Francisco voting overwhelmingly over 75% yes, and drowning out the rural communities that it actually impacts who voted overwhelmingly no at more than 60%, okay? That's all it does, okay? All it does is flip 5 additional seats in California blue to hopefully give Democrats the midterms in 2026 and effectively end Trump's MAGA wave. That's essentially all this is. Newsom has spun it as democracy reform, but his crew just redraws the lines to protect his swamp cronies even more. Me personally, I think it's election theft on fucking steroids. They rigged a map to stuff 5 more socialist seats while the state fucking rots in debt and homelessness. Trump's called it gerrymandering 2.0, and the GOP's crying about it, but the coastal elites just bought themselves a little bit more control. It's going to flip the House blue, like I said. It'll block any MAGA wave, and California just wants to draw the nation further and further into socialist hell, while rural voters once again get fucked. Now, the third topic we're going to talk about today on the Patriot Pulse, we'll talk about a little bit about ICE raids, okay? Now, Operation Surge, as they called it, were raids that were conducted from October 28th through November 3rd and they hit like a fucking MAGA hammer. Okay, over 1,200 convicted criminals were taken down in these blitzes. In Chicago alone, over 200 TDA Venezuelan cartel thugs who smuggled enough fentanyl into Chicago last month to kill 150 Windy City residents were detained. In New York City, they nabbed 300 from migrant hotels, including MS-13 lieutenants who were involved in a $2 million fake ID trafficking ring. Okay. And in Portland, over 100 were swept out of the autonomous zone, with more than 20 having active warrants for assaults on police officers. Okay. Tom Homan's team, the Borders are, they used encrypted phone pings, tip lines, and zero knock and talk strategies, just pure raids. No sanctuary bullshit, okay? But they're not raids, they're justice for the 100,000 Americans last year poisoned by fentanyl alone, okay? Like I said, over 200 TDA gangsters in Chicago, with arrests sweeping as far as Hawaii, okay? They've infiltrated as far as Hawaii, and we're mad that they're getting kicked out, okay? It's crazy, okay? Over 300 in New York City alone. Like I said, MS-13 killers, fake ID ring makers, and they're the worst of the worst, okay? Homan has called this the tip of the iceberg, and we've already saved over $100 billion in welfare costs, preventing over 50,000 overdose deaths next year. And the Democrat mayors are calling cruelty and racism. No, fuck that. No. These monsters have poisoned our fucking kids. They've raped our communities, and they fucking lived off our tax dollars. 1,200 down and fucking 10 million to go. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, drain the fucking swamp. Get them out of here. Now, before we move on to the bro bash, let's get into something that's really been hitting me a lot lately. Okay? Now, excuse me, that was a little dry. Now, like I said, let's get into something that's been hitting me kind of deep lately, right? The world is fucking soft. Okay? The world is fucking soft. But the world isn't soft by accident. The world's been engineered to be that way. Okay? And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I think the world is engineered to be soft and what it's doing to you as young men in this country or in this world. Number 1, comfort has become the new god. Okay? Post-World War II prosperity gave us the first generations raised without hunger, war drafts, or real apex predators. Air conditioning, fucking Uber Eats, and 401ks have replaced survival stress with convenience stress. The human stress response system was built for running away from predators. Now it rages over fucking Wi-Fi lags. We're fucking physiologically overclocked for threats that don't exist anymore. So the body downregulates testosterone, risk appetite, and grit. And in fact, studies have shown that since the 1980s, there's been a drop in testosterone amongst Western men of 1% per decade. This is not a coincidence. It's the biological tax of comfort, okay? That's all it is. Number 2, the second thing that I think it is institutions reward obedience and not dominance. Schools punish boys for roughhousing. Zero tolerance has turned into a zero testosterone expression. HR departments write 6-page policies on microaggressions. Social media algorithms will throttle you if the wrong trigger words are used. Okay? The incentive ladder now climbs through victim points and not victory points. The guy who speaks blunt truth gets canceled, and the guy who signals empathy gets fucking TED Talks. Alpha traits like decisiveness, hierarchy and navigation, controlled aggression, they all read as toxic in a system that needs interchangeable cogs, not apex predators. The third reason why the world's gone fucking soft is fathers have gone missing in the home. 1 in 4 American kids grow up without a dad in the home. 1 in 4. 25% of all young boys grow up without a father in the home. No one to model boundaries after, risk, or consequences. And while single moms do heroic work and they deserve to be applauded, they can't teach a boy how to throw a punch or stare down his worst fears. Those lessons are male-specific osmosis. And Pornhub and TikTok have fucking become the surrogate men's lounge except the curriculum is fucking endless novelty and zero stakes. The result of this is a generation worth of fucking males who can recite Andrew Tate sound bites, but the second real conflict approaches, they don't know what to do. Okay? The fourth reason why is the safety net has essentially become a fucking hammock. Welfare states, participation trophies, and fucking helicopter parenting have all removed the crucible. Evolution forged men through failure loops all throughout. Okay? If your hunt fails, you starve. If you starve, you have to adapt. And if you adapt, you win. Now, when you take out the starve element from that, the loop breaks, which results in Gen Z men having the highest rates of anxiety and the lowest rates of entrepreneurship since the Great Depression. Let me say that again. Gen Z men have the highest rates of anxiety and the lowest rates of entrepreneurship since the Great Depression. Why should they bet the farm when the government Venmos you for existing? Okay? My fifth reason why the world's become soft, language itself has been neutered. We've replaced man up with check your privilege. We've replaced warrior as being cultural appropriation. Being a soldier triggers someone, and a patriot means you're an extremist. Okay? The vocabulary of masculinity got red flagged by fucking spell check. And when you can't name a thing, you can't become it either. It's just the fact of the matter. So, the world doesn't just tolerate soft men, it fucking craves them. It wants you docile, it wants you scrolling, it wants you paying for fucking OnlyFans while your wife clocks into her second job just to keep fucking food on the table, okay? It wants you whining that the economy's rigged while you fucking binge another season instead of building a fucking empire. Fuck that. The system is a giant vacuum sucking the balls out of society, and it's working overtime because you fucking handed it to them gift wrapped on a silver fucking platter, okay? HR loves you quiet. The algorithms love you fucking addicted, and politicians love you voting for the same fucking handouts to make you stay fat, broke, and grateful. Here's the dirty little secret they don't want you to know. The throne's empty. The arena's wide the fuck open. The cash, the clout, the untouched fucking territory, it's all sitting there, unclaimed. Why? Because 99% of men are too busy fucking crying in the comments to go out and fucking take it, okay? Now's the time, not tomorrow, not after the fucking holidays, right the fuck now. Walk out that door and fucking dominate, okay? Cold call the client. Launch the fucking business. Hit the fucking gym like you're trying to break the fucking building, okay? Why not talk to the girl that intimidates you? Negotiate the fucking raise, build the fucking network, and stack the fucking wins, okay? Every no you get is just another corpse in the fucking graveyard of fucking quitters that you get to fucking dance upon, okay? Your wife shouldn't be grinding while you fucking figure it out, okay? Your kids shouldn't grow up thinking that a provider is a government fucking paycheck, okay? You were born to lead, to fucking conquer, and to fucking own. The world fucking needs you to stop being a pussy and a spectator in your own fucking life, okay? It's fucking begging for a man to stand up, grab him by the motherfucking throat, and take what's his, okay? Your move, king. Crown yourself or stay a motherfucking peasant. Choice is yours. Now, let's get into something fun. Okay, let's wrap up this into the bro bash. Okay, and let's talk about the NFL in Week 10. Okay, where the Dolphins fucking stunned the Bills. Okay, the Patriots fucking shocked the fucking Bucks on the fucking road, and the Chargers fucking owned the Steelers. Okay, Week 10 was a fucking slaughterhouse of fucking upsets and frauds, and we're gonna tear this motherfucker apart. Okay, the Buffalo Bills flopped 13-30 to the Miami Dolphins and Cokehead McDaniels. What a fucking collapse for Buffalo's elite status. No, the Bills are frauds. Josh Allen's MVP last year was fucking Lamar Jackson voter fatigue, okay? These Bills are nothing more than regular season heroes and fucking postseason pussies, okay? They couldn't even take care of a fucking shitty Dolphins team to maintain pace with the Patriots in the AFC East, okay? Josh Allen will forever be Patrick Mahomes' fucking bitch, and it looks like they're back to playing little brother to the Patriots. The Bills won't win the AFC, let alone the AFC East. Let's talk about who will win the AFC East. The New England Patriots upset the Buccaneers 28-23, and the Patriots look like a QB factory right now, okay? Drake May is a dark horse MVP candidate. The Patriots sit atop the AFC East, and they don't appear to be letting up anytime soon, okay? Drake May has fans in New England fucking buzzing, and they have every right to be. He's fucking third in passing yards and third in passing touchdowns, okay? The defense is fucking top 10, and their run defense gives up less than 80 yards a game, best in the NFL. The New England Patriots are the real fucking deal, okay? We also found out who wasn't the real deal this week. The Pittsburgh Steelers. You should be disappointed in yourself. The Chargers mopped you up 25-10. You had the Ravens on their heels at 1-5, and you couldn't extend the gap. You just gave it away. Now the Ravens are going to win the division, okay? Instead of you being able to get a lead in the division and distance yourself, Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers rolled into town to show you that they are a force to be reckoned with, period. Justin Herbert has them cooking. He's second in passing yards and tied with Drake May for third in passing touchdowns. Ladd McConkey is making all 31 teams regret passing on him, and the defense is top 5 in yards allowed per game, okay? They think this is the year they win the AFC West. The Chiefs still say something about that. There's no way the Chiefs wins the AFC West. But the Chargers are the real deal. The AFC is stacked. The AFC is loaded. After this Patriots win, I'm convinced that they are the best team in the AFC East. It's going to be great to see the Bills and the Chiefs having to come out of the wild card and go on the road and play, the Patriots and play the Chargers or the Broncos. It's going to be good to see that coming around. And the NFC is just a mess right now. I think the Rams might be the best team in the NFC. The Eagles' offense is, I don't even know how to describe it. A.J. Brown probably wants to jump off the Rocky statue. The guy can't get the ball thrown to him to save his life. Okay, they're putting up I don't even know what's going on with them. The Packers are a fraud. They're a joke. They're bad. The Packers are bad. And if you're in Green Bay, I feel sorry for you. Let's wrap this episode talking about the Slab Lab. Okay, now this week on the Slab Lab, we're going to talk about 6 quarterbacks. In the comments, I want you to leave which quarterback you'd rather have. Okay, we're going to talk about a legend in the game, 2 quarterbacks from the 2020 class, and a couple quarterbacks from 2024. We're going to start with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is all-time great. I don't think there's any denying that. He'll probably retire with 500 touchdowns, multiple MVPs, Super Bowl ring. Aaron Rodgers is him. One of the best arm talents in the NFL. We wouldn't have mobile threats like we do if Aaron Rodgers didn't come along and establish that you can sling dots while doing it from outside the pocket. The playbook for Patrick Mahomes, so to speak. Aaron Rodgers' PSA 10 in a Topps base goes for about $170, and it has a population count of about 4,000. His upgraded version, his Topps Chrome in a PSA 10, goes for about $1,250 to $1,300 and has a population count of 282. Keep that in mind, okay? That's Aaron Rodgers. That's all-time great, a surefire Hall of Famer, played for one of the more elite franchises in the NFL, okay? Keep those numbers in mind, 170 and about 1250 for the better version, okay? Now let's talk about someone who's hot right now, Drake May, someone that I called a dark horse MVP candidate earlier. Drake May in his 2024 PSA 10 Prism base right now is selling for around $130 to $140. It's got a population count of about 1,500. It's going to grow substantially over time, as you'll see with these next few quarterbacks we talk about. Now, keep in mind that PSA 10 was going for about $80 a couple months ago before the Patriots went on this tear, okay? Nonetheless, his base version of a comparable card to Rodgers in a PSA 10 is going for, about $30, $40 less than Aaron Rodgers, okay? About $130, $140. His Prism Silver in a PSA 10, which is that nice version of that card, that shorter print version of that card, It's got a population count of 635, and that card's selling for about $950 to $1,100 right now. Okay? Slightly less than Aaron Rodgers. Now we'll talk about Josh Allen. Josh Allen is somebody who would probably be compared to Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was in his prime, right? Other than the fact that, Rodgers had a ring, Allen doesn't. But Josh Allen's PSA 10 Prism base rookie card sells for $350 to $425. Got a population count of about 2,300. His silver PSA 10 sells for, the last two sold for $9,000. Okay, now those have population counts of 27. There's not very many of those out there, so a little bit harder when it's that limited. Okay, but nonetheless, it sells for $9,000. We have to give it credit for what it is. Now Joe Burrow. He's not far behind Josh Allen, right? His PSA 10 Prism rookie sells for $80. Sells for $50 less than Drake May. It's got a population count of 7,000. There's a lot of those cards out there. Drake Mays will probably be close to that when it's all said and done. Maybe not, but nonetheless, Joe Burrow's $50-$60 less than Drake May. Now, Joe Burrow's Prism Silver in a PSA 10, however, sells for about $1,300, and there's a population count of 290. So he's a little bit more than Drake May in the Prism Silver area, but still very comparable. And same price as Aaron Rodgers' Topps Chrome. Now, me personally, I don't think Joe Burrow ends up with the career Aaron Rodgers has, but his cards are the same. You'll see a theme to this. Now, Jaden Daniels, the hot rookie, right? His 2024 Prism in a PSA 10 is selling for $50 right now, Prism base. The population count's already 5,200. Okay. His PSA 10 Silver sells for $900. Population count of about 600. Not much less than Aaron Rodgers' Topps Chrome. Do we think Jaden Daniels is going to be Aaron Rodgers? Or do you think that if you bought these cards, you're going to get hurt? Probably going to get hurt. Justin Herbert, last quarterback we'll talk about. 2020 Prism in a PSA 10 base. $50 to $60. 6,000 of them. Jaden Daniels, if his career was where Justin Herbert said, he's probably not mad at himself, right? Got a big contract, winning football games. Life's good. His PSA 10 Silver sells for about $1,250. It's got a population count of about 213. Jaden Daniels already has 400 more. 400 more graded than Justin Herbert's. Shows you how many more were printed as well. Moral of the story here. Aaron Rodgers' cards weren't always $1,250. That PSA 10 Topps Chrome at one point was $2,500, $3,000. These guys come down. Don't spend your money. Don't overpay, okay? A lot of these players are overhyped, okay? Josh Allen, love him. Great quarterback. Got an MVP. Why is he that much more than Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers got some bowl. Aaron Rodgers will probably have better stats when it's all said and done. Think about it. We didn't talk about Lamar Jackson, but we will in the future, and some other quarterbacks as well. But keep this in mind, guys. Look at players like Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning when it's all said and done. See what their cards sell for. Don't buy them in year 1, 2, or 3 unless they win a Super Bowl, win an MVP. Hey, okay, all right, man. Well, hey, let's get in a little bit earlier then, because if they're going to be like a Patrick Mahomes and win multiple ones, it's going to continue to go up. You'll be all right. But these guys who haven't won anything, don't do it. You're killing yourself. You're spending money. You're losing it. And you're just going to get hurt in the long run. That wraps up episode 4. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Smash that like button. Smash that follow. Smash that subscribe. Drop a comment if you want to see anything next. We love y'all. Peace, man.